Welcome to Creative Living, where we help you live your most creative life. I'm Jane Klaus here on SMP Live Takeover Tuesday. It is so great to be here with all of you. Thank you for joining us early today. Well, early meaning the start of the show. And right now, we're here together. Today, we're going to mix the best of both worlds to create the ultimate gift. I'm talking about store-bought meaning handmade. I'm going to take a piece of art that I bought online and I'm going to transform it into a one-of-a-kind apron using a thrifted plaid shirt. Yeah, I'm going to do that. If we could have cheers and applause right now, we would absolutely do that. But first, we have to say thank you to so many of you that are joining us. Some of our regulars, I see Norma, I see Marianne, Connie in Florida. I took notes before the show. We got Shirley Chaplin in Georgia. Hey, Shirley. Janet in Houston. Nancy, I cannot wait to get started either. We're going to have a fun time today because I'm doing this this project, which I think is well, actually, I have to say hi to Maria in Orland Park too, because Maria was my producer on this. And I said, Maria, should I do this sublimated photo and turn it into an apron? And normally we have a producer. Maria is my sister. And then she said, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So that is why we're doing the project. So thanks to my sister who's producing the show. But Takeover Tuesday, let's talk about that. Takeover Tuesday, every Tuesday of the month, you get a delightful host taking over the airwaves right here at SMP Live. You see right there, you get Becky Thompson, Carly Bell, Joanne Banco. All of these amazing women are showcasing their talents and they're showing you new tips and tricks when it comes to embroidery and sewing and quilting and piecing and all of these really super fun things that everyone is an expert at. So it's always fun to tune in to all of the shows. And certainly we love that you're here every week, week in and week out with us for these Takeover Tuesdays, and also all of the live shows that SMP does on Thursdays as well. So super huge thanks to Sewing Machines Plus for letting me be here today and for taking over the airwaves. And a big thank you to Roger, who is running the board. Everybody say hi to Roger. Give him a big hello. And the reason why you want to say hi to Roger is because we have giveaways at the end of the show. So the more you chat, the more comments you make, the better chance you have to win. So that's Roger saying hi to y'all. So make sure you keep commenting throughout the show. Ask questions if there's something that I'm talking about and you have a question about it. I'm certainly happy to answer it. Roger will put that up on the screen and I'll be able to see what you all are asking. I have a question. A lot of you I know, a lot of you I've met before, a lot of you I've just met virtually. When you are here, I know you, but who hasn't been here with me before? Sorry, lost my train of thought. Who hasn't been here? Put a 1 in the box so I know who our newcomers are. And hey, Linda, how are you? Sarah, Virginia, thank you. Yeah, Diane, amazing that we get Becky and Joanne and Carly. I have an inside, text line with them, and I always text them my own personal questions, but to have them here teaching us is amazing. Hey, Denise, so glad you're here. Yay. So we only have Carol. Okay, awesome. I love first timers. Thank you. I'm Jane. My name is Jane Klaus, and I do a lot of work with, hey, Norma. I do a lot of work with Blaine, Austin, and the team at Sewing Machines Plus throughout the year during all of their big week-long fests. I'm lucky enough to be a co-host with Blaine, and I'm thrilled to be able to host my own show on one Tuesday a month. I am a television and radio host by trade. I am a lifelong maker. I have been making since I could speak, probably even before I could talk. I was running with scissors. And I also have a podcast called Creative Living. So I call this show Creative Living. I call my podcast Creative Living. I know we're being creative, but I like the name to stick. That is my website that you're looking at right there. I would love it if you went to my website, JaneKlaus.com, double S for extra special, JaneClaus.com, you can go there, hang out, let me know what's happening in your life and connect with me. You can sign up for my newsletter or sign up for my little database. I don't overflow your inboxes. I try to do, a thoughtful e-blast every now and again when things are happening. But certainly go to my website, janeclaus.com. That would be amazing. And the other thing that you can do is go listen to my podcast, Creative Living. It is available wherever you get your podcasts. So if you get them on your iPhone, you can go to Apple iPhone podcast, iTunes, not iTunes, it's iPod. I don't know what it's called. Which is bad. Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, all the places, Audible. But when you go there, I would love it if you download, liked, and subscribed to the podcast. That would be amazing. My latest one is with a woman named Sarah Torres. She is the owner of SewingMachinesPlus.com. She resells dead stock fabric from fashion warehouses. And if you know anything about me, you know I love sustainable fashion. You know I have that rip it apart and remake it mentality, which is what we're going to do today. But this woman, Sarah, at sewbysew.com, she sells dead stock fabric by the yards. This is yards and yards of fabric from fashion warehouses that either went out of style, that was over purchased or underused, and it would go into a landfill. So Sarah buys it and then she resells it to us. There's so many great prints and types of fabric. Just go check it out, sewbysew.com. Listen to our podcast because she really dives into the why she does it and then how she gets her hands on it and really what it means to her, to you, and to all of us. So I think it's super cool. Okay, should we get this party started? Yeah, I think we should. Oh, thanks, Janet. I will inspire you. Hopefully, we're going to start by inspiring you today, Janet. But first, I have a question for everybody. You know, I love to do my question of the day. One of the things we used to do on the radio all the time was we ask a question of the day. So here I am, my question of the day, because we're talking about gifting. My question of the day is your favorite gift when it comes to gifts. If you rather you prefer giving a handmade gift, a store-bought gift, or a mixture of both? Put it in the comments. Handmade, store-bought, or both. And here's the thing. I love, and you can't copy, but I love doing both because we have the magical powers to create things out of nothing that I love to mix too. So if somebody's asking for something, I'm going to get them what they want, but I'm also going to give them the gift of handmade because I think that is the best gift of all. Now, I can't ask you to make everything all the time, but I certainly know that I'm pleasing the person I'm buying a gift for because it's something they want. And I'm also adding my little magic fairy dust to it with a handmade. Thank you, Nancy. A lot of people, the handmade. I love you for sending the handmade, then some cash included. Dorothy, you're hilarious. I will have a gift from you anytime. I love receiving a handmade gift. It makes me it's just so special because I know how much time and talent goes into handmade. And not everybody knows that or understands that. So I feel like if I'm Aunt Jane always giving a handmade gift, everyone's sort of like that sigh. So I want to be able to give a little bit of creativity along with that store-bought and maybe open the eyes of the receiver and say, wow, this is cool what I wanted, but this is even better because it was made by you. So that is my question of the day. Feel free to keep answering it if you have an idea. Second question of the day is, what is the best handmade gift you ever received? Best handmade gift you ever received. Are you waiting for me to answer that? I know you're writing it down. The first one was an easy question: handmade, mix, or store-bought. And I know we're all here. We love the handmade. That's what we do. So best handmade gift you ever received. Could be anything. A quilt. That's nice. I do love a good quilt. I love a quilt. Do you like to use your quilts or do you like to look at your quilts? Snow globe by my granddaughter. Oh, Kim, that's beautiful. Yeah, so many amazing leather ponytail holder. That's cool. Wow. I feel like trying to think of all the gifts I've received that are handmade. I might give a lot of those. A quilt. Yes, quilts are amazing gifts. They tell such great stories. I do love a good quilt. I am not a quilter, not yet at least, because I don't have the patience and it's very specific and I'm more of the rip it apart kind of person, but I do love receiving a quilt. Okay, so we're speaking about gifting today. And I'm asking question of the day being, do you like store-bought, handmade, or both? I'm a both type of person. And this is what happened. My niece is getting married and she had an engagement party. And so I was like, oh man, I want to give her something little for this engagement party. And it was quick and there wasn't a lot of time. And so, well, what am I going to do? So I went to her registry and I looked at what she wanted. So I'm going to show you that right now. And I got inspired to do this. So I went to the registry and she has a registry at a place, a big store that we all know that can send you things super duper fast. And she wanted this cheese poster right there. It is a vintage poster of cheese and it comes in a big frame. This isn't the one I bought her because that's a smaller size, but I bought her the big poster frame and I bought her a bowl. And I thought, well, what can I do to add that personalized touch, to make it a little bit more special? And so I said, well, I'm going to give her a combo gift for the kitchen, which is this framed photo, a bowl, and an apron. So I said, okay, how do I do that? Let's move over here. I took this photo and I said, screenshot, took a little screenshot of it. And now I'm using my iPad and I just sized it up. And I said, okay, well, you know what? Let's go inside here a little bit. I don't want the trim on that. I just want the picture. And you can do this. Doesn't have to be the cheese photo, friends. It could be any photo you want. And I said, done. And then I said, save to photos. So there you have it. I've got my photo. And then the next thing I had was my Artspira. How many of you know Artspira? It is a creative app from Brother. It is so cool. It is changing the way we create. Put a 1 in the box if you have Artspira, if you've used Artspira. There's a free version. Just go download it. You can get it right there at your app store. And then there's also a paid version of it. I love Artspira. You've got embroidery, you've got cutting, you've got across the top, you can see all the you've got different projects, you've got printing designs, you've got cutting, you got sublimation. One of my favorite things in sublimation is, let's see, that's a basic shape. There was one printing. Let's go here. This is so fun. There was a sewing one. Oh, here we go. I wasn't going too far. I should have kept it up. Hobbies, sewing. No, let me just go back to sublimation. Fabric patterns, holidays. Look at these you can print your own fabric on this. Logos, fashion. It's thinking. Oh, this is cool. Wow, look at all these different things. So these are sublimation images that you can print out. Yeah, Jill, I love this app too. And you can print these and you can make pillows and home decor and you can add them to anything. Look at how fun these are. Earlier, I was looking before the show, I was looking at these really cool design. Oh, look at these are labels. How fun is that? A picture label. So many different things that you can find on this app. You can scroll down. There's embroidery designs. There's printing designs. Some of these new ones right here. This is you can do this printing. You could do this embroidery. You can do this cutting. So they come up with new designs every month. You get a little newsletter. Where did I see this? In these different issues that you get. But it's fun to explore. It's like looking at a magazine. So collection of the month. This is what I'm talking about. So let's say you love this little guy right here. You can embroider him. You can sublimate him. So it gives you the different files to make the same thing. So if you're thinking of a gift and you need a theme, this would be a great idea to do it. I love it. Okay, so let's go back to me. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to go to my design editor. I'm going to say letter size, thank you. I'm going to say, let's add one from my camera roll. And I'm going to say, okay, recents. And I'm going to take the one I just saved. Now, you see how small it is? I'm going to make it as big as my sheet of paper because I say go big or go home. There you go. It's going to fill up the paper. If those little red lines go out of the document lines, it's not going to let you print it. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to say done. I'm not going to save it because I have it saved already. You see that it's inverted the image. Cheese is backwards and it's on there. And now it's going to my Brother SP1 Sublimation Printer. I have it set to that. It's going wirelessly. I have my iPad connected to the SP1. How many people have a sublimation printer? I love this printer. I do so many things with this printer. I'm sending it over to my printer, and I'm going to show you that. There you go. That is your sublimation printer. Really quick, I'm going to go back here. See, it says the data transmission is complete. Say, okay. Now we're back to our printer, and I will walk over there, and we can look at it together. Oh my goodness, I'm so far behind in this lovely chat with y'all. Okay, there's my printer. It's printing it out. Sublimation paper. Oh, there we go. Sublimation paper comes along with your printer. Sublimation paper is a little bit different than regular printing printer because it has specific, it takes in the ink so that the ink, when it's heat pressed, will sublimate onto the fabric. It looks just like a regular printer, but it is for sublimation only. Our inks are in here, and then it will print out. I did a couple of different prints. This one is, you'll notice everything is backwards. Consume less, create more. And then I've also done the cheese print as well. So there you go. So that is the sublimation printer. And while it's printing, let's go over and get started. You can see that printing. I'm going to come over here, and you guys can meet me here at my overhead camera while that is printing. And yes, sublimation printing. While that's printing, I'm going to talk about what we need to create this project. Sublimation ink prints on polyester fabric. It needs to be 65% more percentage of polyester. I go 85, 90% because the colors are more vibrant when you have a higher percentage of polyester. So this is some fabric that I got at one of our fabric stores that is closing. And so I went on a quick fire sale and bought a bunch of polyester fabric. This is 100% polyester. What I like about using the sublimated images on fabric is I can cut whatever pattern or whatever I want to cut out of this. I could make multiple images, and I can make my own piece of fabric, and look at how wide I can make it if I want to put more and more sublimated images on here to create my own fabric. Today, I'm just using the one. I thought about creating it as a placard, and just kind of like cutting it. Let's see, I'll show you here. I thought about just putting it on a little square and then making it a placard on the front of the apron, which I have done before. Then I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to use this is like a cream. I'm going to use this entire cream piece as my pattern, as the top of my apron, and just sublimate it right onto the top of my apron, because the bottom will then be the plaid shirt. So let me go grab this. Not iPad. We already were there. Thank you. No, not that one either. Sorry, guys. Not that either. Hi, it's me. Hold on while I figure out what camera we're going to. There we go. This one. So here it is. We just printed that, and I printed a couple of them. So we're going to take this over and we're going to sublimate. And to do that, we will do that on our sublimation printer. So back to overhead camera. It is a really neat printer, Connie. It's just like you can take this piece of paper image and put it on a piece of fabric and make whatever you want to make with it. So let's do that, and then we'll get to the sewing part of it. I have already cut my top of my apron just to save some time. So because this image is inverted, I'm going to put this right in the center of the front of my apron. I'm going to leave a little bit of room here because I'll be sewing. I'm going to leave a little bit of room here because I'll be sewing. And I'm going to use some heat resistant tape. Okay. And let me make sure that's flat and straight. I'm going to put the heat resistant tape on. There we go. I'm an over taper. You don't have to be an over taper, but I am an over taper. And then we're going to take this to the heat press. So are there any questions? Thank you, Linda. Great question. The paper is a one-time use, and you'll see when I take it off the heat press that all of the ink that's on the paper has been sublimated then into the fabric. So the difference of, let's say, heat transfer vinyl compared to like sublimation is, look, this has no top coating. The fibers are the color. So that ink will transfer directly into the fibers of this polyester fabric or the material that you're sublimating on. So let's say you're doing a tumbler or a mug, and there are certain heat presses to use with those products. I'm using a flat press so that it will go into fabric. But again, isn't that so cool? It goes right into the fibers. Once this is set, because it's set with the heat, and once it cools, you can sew with it. And you can also throw it in to the washer with ease, and it won't lose its color or vibrancy or anything. It is a beautiful transfer. And again, this is kind of the colors on this are, you know, a little bit yellow and orangey and a little bit more warm, but I've done entire pillows with flowers and they've come out brilliant. I've also done it on that minky fabric. You know how that minky fabric has that, it works beautifully on minky fabric. So let's go over to the heat press, and let me press this on so you can see how that is done. And we are going to go, I'm just going to take it. Oh, it's me again. I don't even know where I'm hitting the buttons. There we go. Let me move this. That's our beautiful sublimated. And then here's our heat press. So I am using the Craft Express Work Space Flat Press. It is heated right now to 385. And I'm going to sublimate it for 45 seconds. I've just put a little piece of cardstock in there, just so, I don't know, you would put it in between. If you were doing a shirt, you would put that in between the shirt so that it wouldn't bleed through, because again, this heat is transferring the ink on the paper into the fabric. So if it was double-sided, it might go onto the back of a shirt, but since this is one-sided, I'm not worried about that. Then I put in some parchment paper, butcher paper, and then I'm going to close this. And this is going to go for 45 seconds. Yeah, the pink is great. They have them in blue as well, Becky. So I'll heat that. It varies when you have different materials. So the heat's going to vary and the time is going to vary. So I did a little testing with this. You can always go to Craft Express and find out what they recommend for your heat press for the time. But again, this is 385 for 45 seconds. And that should be almost finished. And let's see, 3 seconds. Anybody have any questions while we're looking at the pink printer? Oh, that means it's done. And then you're going to pull this off. And it's hot. Be careful. Let's go back to the overhead. It's super hot, so we'll wait for that to cool for 1 second while we look. Who has this combo, sublimation heat press? Anybody? You bought the heat press for your quilting. That's a great idea, because you could put any pattern you want. You could put faces. You could put people's faces and include that into your quilts, into your designs. Oh, look, one-time use, because I just ripped that in half. There you go. How great is that? We just did it. But look at the inside of this paper. See how all of that ink is sort of gone? And then you're ready to go. Anybody excited about that? Is anybody more excited than me? Is anybody more excited than me about sublimation? It's so much fun because you can include it in some of the projects that you're making. So now I've sublimated this print that I bought for my niece, and now I'm going to make the apron. So let's go back to the overhead and let's do that part. Cool? Okay. All right. So this is done. We're going to set this aside. I am going to show you what else we need, and then we're going to cut some things apart. So this is my backing fabric. You can use anything. It is so easy, Nancy. You can use, I just use denim. This is actually a stretch denim. You could use jersey. You can use cotton. You can use whatever you want. This I literally had laying around. So I like denim on the inside. I'm using a coordinating fabric. I thought these little oranges and lemon peels and things like that look really good with the colors. So I'm trying to go with the color theme. My quilters, you love mixing and matching different pictures and colors and things like that. So here I am. And I'm going to use a plaid shirt. This is the plaid shirt that I'm using. Oh my gosh, really? Yes, I'm going to, because by the way, fast fashion, plaid shirts, one of the most overproduced garments you will ever see. And guess what? Tons of them end up in thrift stores. Tons of them end up in your closet. And yes, Janet, you are right. The combination of colors and fabrics, not only in what we're designing, but in these different types of plaid opportunities that are available for you are crazy. There are so many plaid shirts. You probably have so many in your closet. So the first thing we're going to do is deconstruct this. Then I'll show you how I make my pattern, and then we will put this together. Okay. So as you know, I love to rip it apart and remake it. I think it probably pains some of you to see that I'm cutting these apart when somebody else could wear it. But I'm telling you, I got this at a thrift store. If it didn't get sold, it was probably going to go into the landfill. You could donate it to a shelter, 1,000%. There's still going to be extra of these left over. I just feel like if you really like a pattern and you see it, and maybe there's some stains on it, cut it up and reuse it. Yes, I took it out of my husband's closet. No, I sometimes take them out of my husband's closet. And he's pretty cool about it. I just take the ones he doesn't want. So here's the thing. I would love to use these pockets for pockets on my apron. You could do that, but I'm going to, and you can use the front as the front of your apron. You can use the back, or guess what? You can make 2 aprons and buy 2 gifts. So I'm using to cut. This is my Sew Tights cutting system. Look, these are magnets. This is so much fun. I love this Sew Tights cutting system. I think this is great. They have all different kinds of things. This is the cutting system. These magnets stick, and my fabric does not move. It's great if you are doing a bunch of things or you have lots of width to go through. They also have rotating ones for the quilters. And also, by the way, this ruler, it's got magnets in it. So it kind of sticks to the cutting mat. And I just went through a ton. I went through a lot of fabric with that, especially the center plaque. So, by the way, I'm going to save this. The magnets are part of the cutting system. So they have little magnets and they just stick onto your fabric so it doesn't move. It doesn't slide around. It keeps it flat, but it's really nice. See, look, I can barely move this because the magnets are holding it down. So for me, if I'm doing, I was making a t-shirt quilt and I needed to keep the center, so I was able to turn it and move this thing around, and it worked out great. So here you go. I am going to cut the side. I feel like I'm lollygagging people. It's just because I'm having so much fun talking. But the sublimation part, you see, was so easy. And now it's just on to the fun part, the sewing part. So again, let's talk about our fabric. This is, let's see what is this? This is 100% cotton shirt. It's already been washed, so it's not going to shrink. Cotton will decompose in a landfill quicker than polyester, but it's still going to take a long time for these to decompose. I'm going to save my sleeves because you can use these for straps. I'm not going to do using this in the demo today just because of time, but you can use these sleeves, cut them up and make straps out of them. And then I even love the collar because you can use this piece, maybe you can create like maybe over the belt line, a loop for a towel. Then your apron it has a purpose. It's working. You can actually use it as a working apron. I'm going to use the front of so I'm going to save this. The other thing I love about reusing fabric is I'm using anything, whether it's a plaid shirt or anything. I've got tons of extra material. So I'm going to use this portion, and I want to talk to you a little bit about patterns and what that looks like. So you saw that I already cut my top pattern. You can already see what this is going to look like. Here's your apron right there. Bam. You're going to sew that together. Super cute. This is a pattern that I created and I put it on craft paper. Here's my little simple pattern. This is for the front because it's 2 pieces. And this is for the back because it's 1 piece. I'll do it on craft paper. I like to make patterns on wrapping paper. I'll make patterns on parchment paper. But if you look at what we have here with this would be the front, the second half of the front. I need to have this on the fold. I'll let you know how long it's got to be. So it's about here. I'll make it a little bit longer. You can tell I'm not going to be able to use my pockets. You could cut the pockets off and put them down here. Today, I'm going to use a coordinating fabric. Again, these little, because I love how these oranges mix with this color. And then it also looks super fun with the cheeses. And it is in the kitchen. Thank you, Sandra. So what I'll do is I've got a fold here. Oh, here's my top tip for you. Not into making patterns. You don't have one. This is what I do. I got this free garden apron when I went shopping last summer from our friends at Burpee. I don't know how many of you garden, but this is a great company. They go, here, this is your gardening apron. I said, oh, well, this is really a great size. This could also be my apron pattern. And I put my cardstock down or my paper down. I made it a little bit longer and I just drew right around it. Moving paper is a great idea. That's amazing. So I use this all the time. And then because this is longer and it'll go all the way around your back, I kind of modified it. So this would just be perfect for the kitchen, just in the front. So that's my trick. I just use an apron that I already have to create my patterns. So here we go. I'm going to cut this. I'll leave this a little bit longer. You know what? I know I tell you I love cutting into everything. I do hate cutting through this pocket, but it's going to have to happen. Okay. There we go. What are you guys working on today? Are you doing anything special? So I also want to make sure I leave enough space because I'm going to be adding this here and I don't want to be sewing over that button. That doesn't sound like fun to me at all. So yep, I did. Oh, but look at how great this is. Now you can save this. Maybe you just sew this bottom, sew this thing, and you can make this into a little pocket and put it on something. I don't know, but you can even save those buttons. Put these buttons, if you're going to use them in a project, you can even glue them and make something fun. Okay, I like to save all my scraps. If you guys were to take, let's see, if you were to take a look around outside of my studio, like over there, it is bins of fun scraps. I mean, the ideas are endless over here. Lots and lots of things to repurpose. So I just want to say that. Hi, I'm right here still. Okay, so we've got this piece. And I think really could use some pressing. I'm going to sew right here. I am going to press this a little bit. I'm going to cut the pattern to make sure it fits, and we're going to sew it together. And I was going to add my pocket. So I cheated a little bit. I created a pocket already, and I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to use some twill tape for my sides strings, ties, and my neck ties. So we'll do that in a second. But first, whoops. But first, let me give this a press, and we'll do some sewing. While I'm doing that, what is happening out there? Anybody talking about anything I should see, Roger, from our friends in SMP land? You're working on a quilt, Fuzzy Place. You're always working on a quilt. I love it. I wish I could see photos of everybody. Oh, Sewing for Threads of Love. Connie, that's amazing. The baby's in NICU. Threads of Love. Everybody go there and find out what it's all about. I'm assuming you can just do a quick Google search, threadsoflove.com. Diane, new grandbaby. So you're not sewing. Amazing. Congratulations. 9th new grandbaby. That's great. What a joy and what a blessing that is for you today. But I love that you joined us for this show. So here we go. Let me just, I know. I'm using an Oliso iron. This is, I was using another Oliso iron and somebody was like, oh, that's a cute iron. And forever and ever, my husband says, I'm going to go use the cute iron. Yeah, there we go. Let me just give this another press. There we go. So I would say plaid shirts are one of the favorite things I have to work with. You're trying to make a rolled hem on the serger. Oh, Shirley, you probably thought Joanne was doing your Takeover Tuesday today and she was going to teach you how to do a rolled hem, huh? Practice makes perfect. You'll be able to do it in no time. I hope you're not doing it right on your project. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick pin here. And then I'm going to sew the tops together and cut this. So let's go over to sewing. Oh, finally, I made it. Okay, I am using, I did not change my thread. This is the Brother NS80E. It's a great little sewing machine. I love it. I'm just going to, look at, I'm following. Oh. Can you not see me? Okay, we're just a little delayed. Thank you. I am following the lines already in the front of the shirt. And I just want to call it, make that shut. We're probably going to be cutting some of these, but this is a great little machine. It's got tons of different stitches. It's got utility fonts. It does not have an electric cutter. You would bring this around the side. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're delayed. Let me know if you guys were able to see that or you saw any part of it. I had no vision on mine. So I just sewed the front. And what I was saying is I sewed just along the exact seam line in the front because then you wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm going to fold this in half. I am going to just make sure it fits with my pattern, and then we'll cut it. So here's my fold. What would be really cool is if you could use this existing, see how it's already hemmed down here, and then you can let it go long. That would be fun. Do you know what this is? This is where I keep my needles. This is a magnetic needle dish from our friends. It's called Grab It. It's from our friends at Schmetz. Schmetz, wait, I have this upside down. Schmetz is really great friends. I've been over there playing around in their workspace and they were showing me, this is something like this little magnetic needle holder is something you don't think you need until you have it. How many times have you spilled your needles? Look, nothing. Thanks, Nancy. Look. Oh no, I spilled my needles. Well, not worried. Or my needles, my pins. I love that. Okay, let's keep going. I just love it. It's one of those things I'm like, oh, I don't really need that. And I do, and I love it. Okay, so I'm just cutting this. I can use a rotary cutter. I can use my scissors. I'm using Kai scissors right now. Let me just cut that. Okay. These are the scraps that I'm not going to save. Is that okay? I thought so. Okay. I'm going to take the front of my shirt when I get it undone. And I'm going to lay my image of that we did our sublimated just across the top. For those of you working on your sergers right now, you could do all of this on your serger, except for that first part when I sewed the seam in. But this matches up perfectly. I'm going to bring this back over to the sewing machine so it's together. We'll put the back on and straps, and then we'll be done. I'll give you some other options on what we can do to make it even a little bit more detailed, but saving time for today because I certainly want to get to your questions, thoughts, and giveaways. So let's go back over to sewing. And can you see me here? It just takes a minute for it to jump in. I don't know if you guys can see that because I see the sewing machine, but I don't see my hands working. Okay, you can see the sewing machine working? I'm just going to keep sewing. I see a delay. I am using, oh, see, yeah, there I am. I'm using the NS80E. I don't know why there's such a delay. Oh, you see the sewing machine, Carol. Okay, do you see me working on the machine? It's like really delayed on my end. So as long as you can see it, we're good. This is the Brother NS80E. I love this machine. It's small, it's compact. It's got tons of different stitches. It's a great price. You've got utility stitches, buttonholes. You got decorative stitches. Listen, I love it. It's such an easy machine. You got different stitch lengths. It's easy to thread. I just love this machine. Okay. Yeah, it felt delayed to me, but I'm having a little bit of lagging. But here, isn't this cute? It looks like a little dress, this is the goal. This was the goal, to make it look like a dress. And we're going to go back in here and press it. This is super easy. I did one yesterday, which was in the promo, and I added some extra pieces to it. Now, let's talk about some sewing hacks that all my expert sewists can use. You can use the existing hem that we talked about. You can use the existing button placket in front, which I think is so cute. I'm just going to press this down for a nice finished look. You can repurpose the pockets, but I think it's kind of cool how they're just a little bit lower. And then, of course, you can use the back for, maybe you make a dish towel out of the back. You do one side of it like terry cloth, and the other side of it would be this, so that it could be decorative. And then everything matches. That's really cute. Now, should we put the thing on there? Yeah, we should. So here is my pocket. I'm just going to put that there. We'll sew that on because everybody needs a pocket when you're sewing, right? I know I do. Yeah. The other thing that I talk about a lot is the why. The why use a plaid shirt. Why does this work for an apron? And again, I think I kind of covered this already, but it's soft. It's a lightweight. It's easy to wash. So it's great to use for every day. And it holds up well. So this could be something that is in high rotation in the kitchen. I just missed that last comment. So I'll look at it again. Let's go back to sewing and see if this is going to catch up with me or not. Let me know if I'm in here with you. Again, I'd probably change my thread, but just for the sake of time. Let me know if you see me sewing anything or if you just see the sewing machine. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Roxanne. On my screen, I can only see nothing at the sewing machine. That's okay. As long as you can see it, we're good. So what I did for my pockets is I just kind of pressed in the edges ahead of time so it would be easier to sew on. You can always lay them flat and press them under and then sew them on, but I just did it ahead of time with my iron, with my cute iron. And we're going to turn this around. Yeah. You're just seeing the sewing machine, no project. Yeah, thanks, Lisa. Okay. But you can hear the sewing machine, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's like a little bit laggy. I don't know what's going on. It's a little bit laggy, but we're over here sewing. Maybe I should direct this one. We'll see what I can do. Hold on. I don't know why it's not working. Yes, hearing. Okay, thanks, Linda. Well, we're almost done with this part anyway. Let me see. You know what? If anything, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? I'd say too many things. Here we go. Okay, well, while you were away, I sewed this pocket on, and it's really cute. Let me see if I can add this. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, that's not going to work. I was trying to get a camera over there, but I don't think that's going to work. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'll move on. I think that I'd love to see the sewing part of it because that's really what's kind of cool. Okay, so I already cut the back of my apron. I'm going to lay the two pieces together and we'll add the tops and sew around the top. Just sew this together, turn it inside out, and our apron is ready to go. I did cut this. Look at how big this is right here. Well, I'm not worried about it. We'll modify that before we start sewing. And then here we go. The straps. So I like to make the top straps like maybe 14 inches long, maybe a little bit longer. You're going to sew the edges. This is just twill tape. I love it. I think I got it online somewhere a super long time ago. So there's that. And then I'll put these on, and then I just need my backs, make my back extra long. You can decide what that length is for you. It varies literally every time I make an apron. But you can also, once you sew them in, you can also cut them. So that's fine too. So let's cut that there. And then we cut these in half. Thank you, Dorothy. I think the gift and the matching towel is super fun too. There we go. Let's cut that. Okay. So when you're putting these in, peel this back. You're going to put them in right at the corners. See where that edges is? And then place them down facing the right side, right over that, facing the right side. I just bring these up so they don't get in the way. And then I take my top and I place it over the edge. Now, I like these to be positioned right at the corners. You may like yours a little bit in. There's no right or wrong answer to that. I just happen to like them closer to the edge of the top of the apron. That's funny. And then as you see, this isn't totally right, but we'll fix it. And I know you know that. And then for your sides, so I put little markers here, and you would put your sides right around here. Now, the one thing you can do, which would be really fun, is to use a ribbon or a band of fabric And maybe this isn't the right image, but let's just say you can make this your ties, right? So you'd make this extra long, and then you would sew this over the top. So it would be almost look like a belt if you wanted to do that, if you had time. So you would sew this and then sew this in place. These obviously would be longer, but put those in. So then you'd have your straps, your ties being made out of fabric. So that's one thing I love to do, but just for the sake of time, I'm just going to add these in here. And again, your right side's in, long string, right side's in, and then this is your long string. Here we go. Thanks, Roxanne. Double-sided. You like it? Yeah, it could totally be double-sided. Now, if you put frills and everything on this side, Norma, I wouldn't do double-sided. Sometimes I like to add frills. But yeah, you could flip that around. You know what would be super fun? Norma, you just got me thinking. Why don't you put 2 pockets here and here so that you can use the denim side? You can take the pockets from the existing. You could take, oh, look what you've done. You could use your fabric scraps. Oh, yeah. And you could do pockets on the inside or do like a long pocket across the bottom on the inside so that it is. Then you'd have a big pocket where you put your hands. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So just remember that. We're not doing it today because of time, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. I am going to pin this all the way around. We're going to sew it on the sewing machine that you cannot see. And then we'll flip it around. I would love for you guys to be able to see that. Oh, Scarlett, did you do it? Oh, you never thought of the twill tape. Oh, thanks, Scarlett Grace Designs. You did this with your granddaughter. You're going to do it. And you did the holiday bracelets. I'm so happy. That is so awesome. So remember I was talking about these sew tights? And I said I love them so much. Look at this. So obviously, it's bothering me that the patterns don't match up. I did cut this a little bit wider because I was afraid that I didn't have enough space for sublimating it, and I did. But now that I know we're good to go, I'm using my magnets. I don't have to pin it down, and I'm just going to cut it. And I'm going to use my rotary cutter to just cut it so there's not so much bulk when I am sewing. There we go. And I'll come back to here, pin it in place. I'm going to do the same with the other side. Oops, there's my head. Sorry about that. That will make things so much easier. And I didn't have a really straight shot at that one just because it's on the other side of the table, but all good. Let me put this back in place. See how handy that comes in? And there's my head. I hate it when I rewatch this and all I see is my head. I always have to make sure my hair looks good on top. I really apologize for that. And then so here, a couple more pins here. Are you guys pinners? Are you clippers? You like to pin or you like to clip? I'm old school pinning. Thank you. And the other thing I want to make sure of, where's the cheese logo? Cheese logo is here. So I don't want to sew over that. So I'm going to put a little mark there so I know how far I can sew in. Nothing is super precise. I just don't want to cut off the whole reason why we're doing this, right? So let me move this. You're a clipper, Denise. Yeah, I have some clips. I have not really, maybe I'm not doing it right. Any secrets? Oh, you always hurt yourself with pins. Well, I guess if you're teaching your granddaughter, it's probably better if you are not pinning yourself, right? Why can't I not use, why am I not good at pin or clips, I wonder? Just because I was taught this way or I'm just not used to it? I don't practice enough? I don't have that many? I don't know. Tell me. Okay. I'm going to, you can also put down here. It'd be so fun to put a ruffle. If I had a ruffle, I'd show it to you, but I don't. And then I think what I'm going to do is cut this off. And I'm worried about my sewing machine because I really just want to do this around and for it to work. Thank you. Okay, let's try it again and see if my sewing machine will work. What do you guys think? By the way, this right here is where that seam is, where the button placard is. So I'm going to sew through that. And I'm going to leave an opening maybe from here, just around this plaid area so that I can turn it right side out. And then I'm going to round the edges. I think adding a ruffle around here would be really great. But let's get this sewn. I'll start here. Typically, I put 2 clips or 2 pins where I'm going to start and stop. There we go. Okay. I'm going to try this again. And we're going to see. Looks like. Oh, are we back? Oh my gosh. I think we're back. Yay. I see you. Thanks. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, let's go here. Back. I just needed to redo that. I don't know what happened. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's do this. We are almost finished. Woo! We got to hurry it up. I'm just going to round my edges really fast. Oh, and look, I'm doing it backwards. It's okay. What else can I tell you about this great little machine and the sublimation printer? So when I do these shows like this, I always end up staying in my room, in my studio, and I just continue to keep sewing on and making multiple of the things that we just made together because they're so cute and so fun. And then like time goes on and then I stop and you get busy and you move on to the next thing. So I really enjoy my time with you because you give me the opportunity to sew and create. Remember that little pin that I put? Oh, you can't see. I put a little pin there so I wouldn't cover the cheese portion. I'm being mindful of that. And since I'm sewing upside down, ooh, there we go. There we go. Ooh, did I not put pins in here or did I just go crazy? I think I just went a little, oh, I was coming around the machine. Sorry. Okay, here we go. This is the second side. I want to make sure I've got this in the right spot. I think I do. It's going to come out cute no matter what. I always say there's no such thing as a mistake because you'll turn it into something great. And I think I'll take you on a little visual tour of the machine too. Haha, now that I've got the camera working. And we'll turn the corner. Go through some thick spots. Flip this inside out or right side out. I might have made that a little too tight, but it's okay. There we go. And there we go. Okay, let's get back to overhead. So here we are. I'm going to trim my corners because I need to. I'm going to trim this little edge. If you have a serger, I think that you could just sew this right up on your serger. Clean insides. I always worry about having clean insides, and then I realize no one's looking at the inside except for me. And we're going to turn this right side out. Oh, this would be a great guild project. Awesome, Cindy, that's so good. You can have everybody in the guild bring in an old plaid shirt, and maybe everyone throws it in in a bag or in the pile in the middle, and then everybody gets to pick a plaid shirt, or they get to pick the one, maybe not the one they brought. Maybe it's somebody else's plaid shirt they get to use. That's fun. Oh, and I've accidentally did that. There we go. Turning it inside out. Oh, it's so cute. I always line. I mean, you see a lot of aprons and it's just one-sided, and I think that's fine. I mean, for me, I like it finished. So that's why I always double side my aprons. You could also, a couple of tips, sew this entire thing. You can add some ruffle here, which I think would be really cute. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now because I love it. I love adding a little ruffle. If you were going to add the ruffle, you would do that before you sew it together, but that's just another option. And here are your straps. Here's your top. You're going to then, oh, I left my pin in there. You're going to then top stitch this all the way around to make your apron look professionally finished while you're securing all the seams. The other thing is you're going to want to press this before you top stitch, and you have to get this opening closed. I know you all know that, but we'll just do a quick little press right here. And then top stitch it so everything is nice and clean and finished. And that is here. So I would just press this entire thing. Thank you, Dee. And I would press this up, and then I would top stitch this, and then you are done, and you have an amazing, cute, awesome, fun, great gift. Check it out. Here is my apron. I'm not going to put it all the way on because it's not there. There you go. Looks like a little dress. How cute is that? So cute. And then I have my pocket, which I absolutely love, love, love. That is so much fun. I would love to meet you at the other camera, but first I do want to show you, if I can, I don't know if it's going to work, but maybe I could show you this sewing machine. Oh yeah, it's not working. Okay, never mind. Let's just go back over. Let's resume. Here we go. This is the sewing machine right there, and you can see my studio a little bit. It is the NS80E. You can see it's a cute little sewing machine. You can see all of these stitches. I like to keep my machine in the center, probably making everybody dizzy, but that's the machine, the NS80E. And of course, it is on my it is on my Sewing Machines Plus sewing mat. So let's meet over at the headquarters and we'll finish this project up. And there you go. That's my overhead, and that's my machine, and there's me again. And that is the Sublimation Printer. But here I come to the front. Oh my gosh, another winner. Joyce, thank you so much. So I think this is super cute. By the way, let me just do a couple of things. This edge of the twill, I would press this and sew it together just so the ties are finished, because I think that is a nice way to finish it, especially if you're giving it for a gift. And that's your apron. It's easy. I use that sublimation printer from Brother, and I'll put this on really quick. It looks like a little skirt. It's the best. I'm so excited. I always get so excited when I make these things. There we go. I've got one on. This is the one that was in the promo. And you can see I added that little belt right there. The other thing I did was I used a scrap of fabric, and I'm using this for a towel holder, which I think is a lot of fun as well. So you can stick a towel in there when you're cooking, throw it in the wash, and you're completely done. So let's review all of the products that I use, just so you know what we have. And then we're going to do some giveaways. So hang right there and let's show first. I think it's going to be the sublimation printer. Right there, it is your Brother SP1 Sublimation Printer. Of course, Blaine's got it for you at SMP. Just call 800-401-8151. If you don't have it, you saw how easy and how fun it is to use. The opportunities and the creativity is endless when you are sublimating your own fabric. Great price right there. Call in special 800-401-8151. And also that NS80E, the sewing machine, right there, you see all of the different sewing feet you have to use. It's an amazing price. I love this machine, NS80E. I just like, instead of using a big one, it like fits over here when we're doing the lives, and it just is so easy and fun to use. Again, call in for pricing on that 800-401-8151 if you want a very small, lightweight, compact machine that does it all. You can bring this to your guilds. You can bring this to your granddaughter's house. You can bring this everywhere. I love this little machine. And then the Sew Tights cutting system we have as well. And the cutting system, there it is, from our friends at Sew Tights. I love this. I bought this at a trade show a long time ago. 800-401-8151. Call in special on this as well. Great pricing already. You've got your SMP pricing. They're already great pricing. Call in. Say you want to get all three things. Maybe you get the machine, the printer, and the Sew Tights. Get a bundle today, because I'm sure when you call in, they are going to work out a deal or something great for you if that is what you'd like to do. But I think it's a really fun project. And listen, if you buy the bundle, call me up. I'll send you a couple of plaid shirts. How about that? That's our deal. If you buy all three, I'll send you some plaid shirts and you can make all the aprons that you want to make. The heat press that I was using is from Craft Express. It is the Workspace flat press. I am sure that Blaine either has that one or something similar at SMP Live. But that is the heat press I was working. They also make tumbler presses and mug presses. So that is my project for today. You can rewatch it. I will put a smaller version of it, a condensed version of it, on my YouTube page, which is DIY by Jane, and on my website, janeclaus.com. So what do you say, friends? We get to a couple of giveaways. Roger, I think Roger said I have the go ahead to do something that you are doing your machine a disservice if you do not have one of these. And that is the SMP world famous Sew Mat. There are so many colors and so many patterns, and we will let you pick the size and color that you want if you are the winner. So, hey, listen, I guess we just spin the wheel, Roger. Spin that wheel. Oh, there we go. I hope good luck to everybody. So as he's getting that all set to go. Yeah, Janet, that Sew Mat would be great. Leslie, you love your mat. I love my mats too. I'm so excited that I have some giveaways. Thanks, Blaine. Thanks, Roger. Cindy Knight King. Cindy, did you just say you loved your sew mats? Well, you just won another one. Cindy Knight King, hanging with us on Facebook. Cindy, thank you so much for joining us today. What you need to do to claim your prize is go to smplive.tv, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out all the information. Tell us when you won, especially that is Takeover Tuesday with Jane, and also tell us what size and what color mat that you would like to be sent to you. That's the most important thing, so that the folks over at SMP know what to send. You have 30 days to claim your prize, smplive.tv. Congrats, Cindy. All right, let's do a gift card. Let's do a $25 gift card. That's fun. Let's get this going. I'm super excited. If you win, you could use it to buy your bundle today. There you go. Spin the wheel, Roger. Thank you so much. And let's see who wins. Peggy Sue Gillen. Congratulations, Peggy Sue, watching on Facebook. I like it. Hey, Peggy, congratulations. You just won $25 to SMP. It's a gift card. So you got to go to smplive.tv, scroll to the bottom, fill out all the information. Make sure you tell them you won it on Takeover Tuesday with Jane. And the most important thing here is that you give your email address, because it will be a digital gift card that once you get it, you can start spending right away. So again, Peggy Sue Gillen, congratulations. Go to smplive.tv to claim your prize. Scroll to the bottom of the page there at smplive.tv and fill out all of that information. Wow. What a great show. We've had, there we go. Hi, everybody. What a great show it was today. Thank you so much for joining me and SMP on this amazing Takeover Tuesday. I want to see what you are making with your thrifted plaid shirts. I want to see what you're making with your sublimated prints. I want to see all of that stuff. So find me on Instagram. It's at Jane Manzuris Klaus. But if you type in Jane Klaus, you'll find me right there. Tag me on your posts. I'd love to see them. Stay in touch with me on my website, janeklaus.com. There I am. You'll see me smiling at you. We all need to live better creatively. And I always say, with a little inspiration and some imagination, you can make anything. And that is exactly what we did today. Huge thank you to Roger for running the board behind the scene. And a big, huge thank you to all of you for joining me today. You will have another Takeover Tuesday next week, but I will see you in 4 weeks, and that will be Earth Day. And I promise we'll have a great show. Thanks, everybody.